Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels. My guest tonight is Mike Kennedy, the founder and publisher of Magnetic Press Comics.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike, how's it going? Yeah.
it's good. I'm doing good. Just getting
Uh,
ready for holidays and
yeah.
getting
And
stuff off my plate.
you've got a Kickstarter going right now that
Yeah,
looks amazingly cool called
yeah, and
Freaks Squeele.
yeah, and
The com
it's doing really well. I yeah,
$102,076.
yep,
I just put in 14
nice.
uh as I figured out that I could order one
Yeah,
digital copy.
yeah.
There have been
It's a 7 book series, so
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
to ask.
and under a lot of circumstances I would have gone for all of them, but
But
there were
it's new.
so
Yeah,
well, no, I mean, I would have taken the risk on this. This looks really good.
yeah,
But there were so many good Kickstarters in October,
yeah,
and at the end of the month when they all came out of my credit card, I went, "Oh, I
yeah.
have to slow down a little."
Well, it's weird because the first, we do a lot of Kickstarters. We probably do anywhere from like eight to I think the most we've done is like 12 in a year. I mean,
Right.
it got a little crazy, but the beginning of the year kind of really started slow, and some of the campaigns it didn't seem like there were a lot of people like checking out
I,
that storefront, and
I think there are a lot of people like me that go so heavy on Kickstarters at the end of the year.
yeah.
The beginning of the year, we're kind of like, my
Gotta
New
save up.
Year's resolution is to spend a little less. Oh, pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing is it seems like in the last 2 months, 3 months, you're right. It's like more campaigns and they're bigger campaigns with like
Right,
really cool
right.
looking books.
Well, and it's where some of the heavy hitters come out. Like, I'm not going to say no to Terry Moore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hardcover revised edition of his How to Draw. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And even like the, bigger brands like Dark Horse with their Star
Right,
Wars manga. It's like
right,
that's just a beautiful looking book.
right.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, sometimes with the bigger brands, I find it easier to hold back because I know that they're going to be distributed later. If
Yeah.
not the if not the pretty version, a semi pretty version.
Yeah. I mean, it is assuming that the production value is there at the basic level. The cool
Right.
thing about Kickstarter for us is, it's always an opportunity to do that special, slipcase
Right.
edition, the limited
Well,
edition.
and this one, I mean, like even not having ever read it or heard of it or whatever, the
Yeah.
like trunk edition is so pretty that like
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to do
uh
something unique there. Just, it's not just a
yeah.
slipcase. It's like, it's got a magnetic
Right.
flap and it kind of, when you tip it on its side, it lifts up the
Uh-huh.
locker. And, we've
Uh-huh.
probably unlocked a bunch of stretch goals for like stickers that you can like customize
Oh,
your
oh, wait a
locker.
minute. Wait a
And one
minute.
of the stretch goals was invisible kind of glow in the dark elements. So you won't
Postcards are
see them
coming
in,
up.
yeah. Yeah, we might, I bet you we'll probably have those by
We
Saturday.
we could have them by the end of this episode if we get lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going out live, so it wouldn't be my fault if we
Right. We got a little extra time.
right.
Well,
If you go over the line tomorrow, I can take credit for it.
yes, I'll give you that credit. There you go. Well, we've got a lot more plans. So,
Yeah. So tell us about this book in like I could read stuff off, but I assume that you've actually gotten to read it and talk to people and whatnot. Tell us about this book that looks one of the things I love about European comics is it's the one place where there seem to be a lot of people that are okay showing worldwide influence.
yeah,
So as much as this has a lot of manga in it, but I can also see Iron Giant in it. I can
yeah,
see some Kirby here and there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean, it really is this mashup of kind of Western American comics and,
Eastern
clearly
comics
yeah,
and
the,
yeah,
the manga and anime just styles of the character designs, but yet it still has a very thorough kind of European bande dessinée flavor to it.
right.
It's kind
Well,
of
as I look at the and I haven't actually played the video. I'm a comic guy, so I often don't play the trailers, even when just because
oh
I'm a
yeah,
comic guy. Yeah, I always mean to because people have gotten really good at making comics trailers, right? But half the time when I see it, it's like on my phone out
yeah,
somewhere where I'm not going to listen to it and then by the time I'm somewhere where I might play it, I forget. But as I'm looking at the still for this, I'm also seeing a Black Sad influence.
yeah. I mean, it's that European. I don't know. It's kind of a European sexiness. Like
Yeah.
Freaks Squeele is, it's a late teen book. It has some sexy parts to it. I mean, nothing mature or graphic, but that they'll be. It takes place in a college, and college
Okay.
kids are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're up for everything, partying and superheroes and
So what
sword
you're
fighting.
saying R, but not NC-17.
Yes, definitely.
Or,
Yeah.
or does the violence cross the NC-17 line?
Nope.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think on that front, it's probably, more like an X book. I mean, it's a lot like that kind of student
Okay, X-Men.
prose,
Well, you
where
said X when we were doing ratings, like an MPAA thing. I thought you were
X like
talking
X
that.
Factor,
Yeah.
X-Men, New
Yes,
Mutants,
yes. We should clarify.
Yeah, sorry about that. Not triple X, just
No.
X.
Well, I mean, before NC-17, there was just the normal X,
Yeah,
like Last Tango in Paris X,
yeah.
Midnight Cowboy X.
That would still make it to theaters. I remember those.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't remember those. I've read about those.
yeah. I think they were just starting to phase that out when I got to that point where I was recognizing how the rating system works. I
Right.
just reached that age and it's like, oh no, now it's out of reach.
And then they reintroduced it with NC-17 for showgirls.
Yeah, and then went straight to video practically with everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love this teddy bear. I keep interrupting you because I'm looking at pictures. So I'm going to stop looking at pictures and let you finish pitching the book.
Oh, it's
I'll
just
try to shut up now.
kind of like I mentioned, it's kind of X-Men New Mutant style. It's about a university for wannabe heroes. And of course, with all the social dynamics of college, you know, you got your cliques and you got your bullies, and the bullies tend to be kind of villainous, and the do-gooder hero types, feel persecuted and have trouble like impressing anybody. So, it's just that self-identity human drama mixed with just a ton of action. And even though they call it a superhero school, it really isn't superheroes like we know them, like capes and
No.
tights. It's more like fantasy archetypes, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of kind of horror tropes and gothic
Yeah.
type.
I'm seeing werewolves and
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and even like
vampires.
final font is very gothic.
Though there is a very familiar silhouette here
Mhm.
on one of the characters. Here, I'll share my screen so you
The
know what I'm
werewolf
talking
one.
about. Very familiar silhouette.
Yes. I think that's another cool thing about the series is it's very culture reference. I mean, I think that
I
was
mean, for
probably
for those of
intentional.
you listening at home, it reminds me most of the old man version that Frank Miller
Yeah.
drew in the 80s. And I feel like I'm going to leave it at that. Anybody who can't figure out what I'm talking about from that, like,
Yeah. I mean, in the end,
Is
well,
probably my mother. Hi, mom. Text
right.
me, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I mean, it turns out to be the werewolf, but I mean, in that introductory
Yeah,
silhouette, it's like, I think it's intended to be kind of Batmanish. I mean, there are times,
yeah. Oh, you just gave it away.
oh, sorry. But I mean, they will reference other, popular
Yeah. I
heroes,
do love
without
that the
naming.
name is Wolf Shadow.
Yeah.
And when we're seeing the Shadow version,
Yeah.
yeah. And he loves poetry.
Yeah, he's a teddy bear.
Yeah,
But,
I'm looking forward to reading this book.
yeah, it's a great book. I'm in the middle of finishing the translation of volume 5 out of
Yeah.
7. So and they're great.
So do you do the translations from French?
Just for the sake of time, I'll hire a translator, but then I will everything we publish, I will do a localization pass because a
Okay.
lot of times the translators will be very true to the written
Right,
word,
right,
and it
right,
just
right.
won't sound natural. It'll sound maybe a little stiff and theatrical. So I just
But
go in
but
there, make sure everything just it sounds colloquial and natural and
so are you just taking it from the translators or do you speak French as well?
I don't speak very well. Given enough
Okay.
time, I can read pretty well. I mean, I can read
Okay.
well enough to, evaluate and acquire these titles and I
Gotcha.
understand what we're acquiring, but yeah, conversational, not me.
No, I'm fascinated by the translation process. We actually I had Matt Madden and Chris Cicada
Hmm.
on for a translators roundtable
Oh,
where
wow.
we just talked translations.
Yeah.
Just because I like it can be such a delicate process,
Yeah.
and the localization can be really important, as can having a real feel for the original localization, if that
Yeah.
makes
I mean, you
sense.
want to make sure that it's always true to the spirit, but
Right.
maybe, yeah, I mean, just even structurally, the way that some French dialogue is they'll put the second half of a sentence at the beginning and it just won't sound right in English.
Oh
So
no, yeah. No,
just
you have
swap the phrases.
part of good translation is understanding the grammar of the two languages, and
Yeah.
that's one of the basic grammar things. But my favorite um non-comic book and possibly my favorite book period is The Little Prince. And when
Yeah.
I was in high school, the new translation came out. And
Mm.
this is when I got to know the name of the original translator, Catherine Woods, because it
Yeah.
became very important to me from that point on. And because it was billed as, oh, this is a more accurate translation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so I bought it literally the day it came out.
Mhm.
And I was barely 5 pages into it before I'm like, the whimsy has been sucked out of this book.
Yeah. I mean, you
Like the
can translate.
poetry is gone. I'm
Yeah.
s- sure maybe it's still technically
Technically
more
accurate.
accurate,
Yep.
but the other thing is that's what I started like learning about, and it's like Exupery was bilingual. He wrote in French,
Uh,
but he knew English.
yeah.
So he had approved her translation and not without knowing what
Yeah,
it
the
said.
liberties. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
allowing and agreeing with the liberties because that's one thing that from the beginning, Magnetic is always we've always tried to work directly with the writers and make sure that the writers
Right.
are cool with this. Like, hey, is this roughly what you meant? And
Hmm.
if that's not what they meant, then they'll explain it. We'll try it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, always getting the intention right, but
Yeah.
want to make sure that it doesn't sound like a translation. Because, I mean,
Right.
even though it's kind of become clear that Magnetic brings these French titles and Italian and Spanish titles over and translates them, that's kind of become our part of our brand. We've never positioned ourselves as a translation publisher. We always want to make sure
Right.
everything we bring over if you're not familiar with the brand or Magnetic, this is just a cool looking book that
Right.
maybe it was, made in Portland or, wherever. It's like,
Right.
I mean, if so many people just won't even bother looking at, the names on the cover, and so they won't necessarily have to know that it's French. It's just
Right.
a really cool sci-fi book or, hero book.
Or a really cool book about dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another Kickstarter that I did. What was the name of that one? I don't, it
Is
was
that Toby?
my friend Toby. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that one.
Yeah, I've
Love
got a
that
soft
one.
spot for anything animal. I mean, a lot of our earlier titles were kind of wildlife stories and yeah, I've got a soft spot for animal tales.
I mean, I not only have a soft spot for animal tales, I go both ways. I love anthropomorphic things where your Usagi Yojimbo or
Yeah,
whatever, your Black Sad, where they take the animals and make them more human. But
yeah.
I also really love it um when they tell an animal story where the animals are animals.
Yeah. Well, that's like some of the first books we published were, are you familiar with the Love series?
I don't know if I am.
So we published five of those, and basically it was like the first one was Love the Tiger, and it was the day in the life of a tiger, and wasn't anthropomorphized or anything. It was just going to the jungle, dealing with lions and cobras and all kinds of stuff, and it was just chasing a tapir. The whole story was
Okay.
this tiger was just starving and just looking, trying to catch something to eat, and all of the
Yeah.
many,
No, I'm looking at the cover right now.
yeah,
Though I like panthers more than I like tigers, so I don't know
there's a
what I think
panther in
about this
there.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like he's losing right now.
I don't think either. I don't think either one of them die, but one of them definitely wins.
Um, yeah, no, I had James Sturm on recently, and while he didn't do the art on it because he'd done the writing, I read his the adaptation of Watership Down, and
Oh wow, yeah,
one of the things that was really striking is like, oh, these rabbits are using rabbit facial expressions. Somehow,
yeah,
I'm trying to remember the name of the artist right now because like I was blown away that like somehow I know what they're feeling between the expressions that the
mhm,
artist is giving them and the dialogues, but the dialogue was sparse.
yeah,
So it like I hate it when the internet is slow.
mm,
Joe Sutphin's visuals were doing some really heavy lifting in terms of like you're feeling their
yeah,
sadness or their excitement or whatever,
yeah.
even though no, it doesn't look like an anthropomorphized rabbit. It
That's
looks like a
yeah.
rabbit.
Well, and that's why I think we were so happy to publish the Love series because the
Yeah, no,
artist
that
Federico Bertolucci, I mean, he's fantastic. He can just
no,
draw.
no, I'm looking at these and already
Yeah,
very, very interested.
yeah. The
Ooh,
stories
there's a
are.
fox one.
Yeah, the third one, The Lion, was nominated for a couple Eisners. And it's
Nice.
just a powerful story. I mean, in the end,
Oh, the fox is sold out though.
on our website.
That
Well,
makes me sad.
figure out. I'm not sure why our website is.
Well, your store is working.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Your store is working, just not your website.
Yeah.
But I have a thing for foxes because of the Little Prince, and the
Yeah.
fox is the only one of those that's sold out right now.
The Fox was a great book. Yeah, we're looking at our reprinting plans for 2026.
Right.
But yeah,
I
those
mean, I
books,
suppose I could do the box set.
if there are any left, I would recommend that.
It does look like there are.
Yeah, they're all great books. The Dinosaur, and then the newest one is
Well, and I think
Jurassic.
that'd be my wife's type of thing too. But we're so close to the holiday that it's got to kind
Yeah.
of be like she decides.
Yeah.
But I'll put it in the back of my head. But now I can look at your
Yeah, they're really, I mean, even though some of the stories,
oh, that's right, you did
there's
Sea of
circle of
Love
life
too.
stuff going on. But they're still pretty, I mean, it's nature. So I think
Right.
even kids in middle grade, especially the Fox is very um family friendly. And
That's
the other ones might be, there might be a little like a, you know, tiger taking down a gazelle, but that's nature.
that's what my kids used to tell me when we were watching like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the Matthew Broderick Godzilla from like the mid 90s?
Yep.
You know that scene where all the baby Godzillas are hatching in Madison Square Garden and they're like machine gunning them?
Yeah.
My kids were yelling at the screen.
Yeah.
You
They're
don't
just
kill.
babies.
No. That's not even what they were saying. They were saying, you don't kill Godzilla. Godzilla eats you.
Right.
And I'm like,
The
wait a
food
minute,
chain.
you want Godzilla to eat the people? And it just turned to me and like deadpan, it's the circle of life, Dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, but
Yeah.
I mean,
How,
seriously, like my 4-year old is screaming at the screen.
yeah.
You don't kill Godzilla, which would be understandable, but then Godzilla eats you.
Right. Well,
I mean,
Godzilla's a
they
force of
also rooted
nature.
for the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay, well then these books will probably just fall right in their wheelhouse.
well, I mean, they're grown up now. So with my son, I mean that son has a son that age now. So, and a daughter just a little younger. So it would be interesting to see
Yeah.
if his kids put him through that. Um, talk to me about how you pick books to publish, and do you kickstart everything first, or do you have a decision-making
No.
process on that as well?
Yeah, I mean, we have done a lot of Kickstarters. I think we've done like 50 in the last
Yeah.
10 years. So, I mean, it's especially after the pandemic, it really became part of our business model. It just, we love retailers, but I mean, there was like a period of over 2 years where retail just was not where people were ordering. They
Right.
would just go online, they go to Kickstarter, and um but yeah, I've been since I started publishing, I guess what, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, I
Wow.
started going to there's a festival in France in Angoulême.
Ah,
And
the
so
one that got canceled this year.
yeah, exactly. I'm still got me.
We've been following it. We've been
Yeah.
following it.
Yeah, and the first time I went there, my eyes were just opened up to it, just
Yeah.
all
No,
of this.
I'm lucky enough to call what's the audience prize winner? Um, one of my friends, because I hate it
Hmm.
when Leonie Bischoff won the audience prize
Oh,
for Annis Nin, and then the following year won the youth prize for
yeah,
the Great Turkey March.
yeah.
So yeah, I know
Well,
Angoulême. I haven't been there yet, but I want to.
it's a fun show, and hopefully they'll get it back together in
So
2027.
yeah, it sounds like it'll be back next year.
Yeah,
Sounds like the town is planning some interesting stuff for this year, and it sounds like it'll be back next year.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been going, so it's been about 12 years, and every year that's just my shopping trip. I'll just look for cool books, and I kind of I am the filter, like the whatever the curator of like if I like it, then that's something we'll publish. Haven't really
Gotcha.
like figured out like, is there a criteria checklist? It's just if it catches my eye and the
It
story's
catches
over
your eye.
there. Yeah. I mean, I like books with a unique art style. I mean, I think most of our artwork, there really isn't kind of a North American equivalent to a lot of
No.
these. Um, and they draw these things by hand, watercolors and colored pencils. And I mean, it's nice to see actual artwork, that you can actually hold in your hands, not just digital. So, but yeah, I mean, I will admit it'll probably be visual first, but the story's also got to stick with you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh. See, the problem with the people who do visual first is sometimes when I'm talking to them, I fall down the visual rabbit holes.
Yeah. Well, that's a good first filter. It's like when I'm in France and I'm just strolling through a bookstore, I'm looking at pictures first. I don't even know what the story is, but wow, that's a cool looking cover. So,
Right. Right. I mean, that's the way it has to be if
yeah.
it's not something easily read.
Yeah.
Um, I got to ask you about, and then we talked a little bit off air about it, and it's currently sold out. So like, unfortunately, people can they still get it digitally on Amazon? I used to get it, or I have my digital copies as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Invincible.
Yeah.
Tell
So
me,
I
tell
do
me
think
how this one.
it might still be available digitally on Kindle, but yeah, we may be sold out physically. And
Yeah, no, physically, at least Local Hero is sold out.
yeah.
I haven't gotten to the other one yet.
And we had books in stock, but then they all just got lost in this diamond fiasco. So it's like I don't think we will ever get those. They might have a couple
Right.
copies that we'll never see again. So yeah. So as far as
Yeah,
we're
that's
concerned,
just
it's sold out. But
that's that the Diamond Fiat. I mean, the thing that frustrates me most about U.S. bankruptcy law, and like we won't get deep into it, but the fact that Diamond owed money to the banks that had loaned them money late superseded the consignment books that
but
they
they
had.
know that they owed money to.
And it's like wait a minute. The money they owe to banks that probably shouldn't have lent them money comes before the money they owe
Yeah.
to people's stock that they have in their warehouse, which they don't even have to give back.
I mean, I mean,
Something really
it's
wrong with a law that allows that.
yeah. I don't even know how it works. I mean, it's kind of theft. I mean, honestly,
It's not
Diamond.
kind of theft. It is theft. It's
Yeah, I mean,
legalized theft, but it
yeah,
is
they
theft.
they have Diamond has 60 to 70% of our inventory that we're
Right.
never going to see again. So yeah, right now we're like looking at what do we have on hand. What
Right.
do we need to reprint? So, all of these titles, like Mr. Invincible, rather than just reprinting it, we did get like 48 new pages from the artist. So we are going to be
Going to be a
publishing
new
a
edition.
new edition. Yeah, Mr. Invincible Redux or something. But
Right.
yeah, it'll be nice. And we'll publish it in hardcover this time around because it'll be a little bit thicker, but it's the same stuff. I mean,
That'll make me rebuy it. So, I mean, that works out.
yeah, I mean, it's so clever. And
Yeah.
I was waiting for, even more material so we could just do a volume two. But the creator just had to admit, it's like, I'm not sure where else to go with this. Because, he
Right.
explores everything from, depth of field to, panel borders to the edge of the page to, you know,
To the back of the page.
yeah, yeah, he'll have on the back of the page punching through to the
Right.
I
Right.
know it's like color and yeah,
Right.
everything.
I mean, I love the medium, but starting with that book.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, have you ever met Karen Green?
Yes. Love Karen.
Karen Green is the one that recommended that book to me
Oh,
when
nice.
she was on the show.
Yeah.
And like I am so eternally indebted to her because both talking to her, but then like some of her specific recommendations, that one at the top of it,
Mm,
made me who have loved comics and been around comics for so long that I started a comics podcast in my
right.
40s, start looking at comics differently
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. That's the cool thing is it makes you, I mean, you're so used to the medium, but suddenly you're like, yeah,
Right.
let's kind of step the camera back a little bit and like look at it
Right.
as, like why are these limitations there? So
Well, or what things can you do? I
yeah.
mean, have you been reading Dennis Camp's work lately?
Mm,
Uh, Particularly with assorted crisis events at Image and Martian Manhunter at DC.
yeah.
Like every issue, he's pushing the boundaries of the form
Yeah.
and telling great stories. But like, I mean, there was an issue of Martian Manhunter where to properly read the story, you had to like hold up the last page to the light
Yeah.
to get the bleed from the other side.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
know, he's done things with like different, not. I mean, sometimes completely new things, but really like an encyclopedic knowledge of all cool things that have ever been done in comics
Yeah.
and finding a way to weave them into these universes and do them again.
Well, and getting DC to agree to, because a lot of those things you have to, you know,
Right.
print specially, you have to get the
No,
printing
no.
for it.
So far, everything he's done has not required special printing.
But
Eh,
still, you want to make sure that the printer understands that this is
Right. Oh, well, yes, absolutely.
yeah, there are
but
things with Mr. Invincible I mean, there was that section, the gatefold page
right.
where the story changes depending on if it's open or not. I mean,
Yeah.
just getting that through with the printer so that they
Yeah.
understand how, they're not just
Yeah. I
printing files, they understand the
they
content.
have to understand. Yeah, no, that actually just thinking about crazy things that people have done.
Yeah.
How well do you know Raw magazine?
Let
The Francois Moulet and Art Spiegelman in like the 80s. There was an issue of that. They were at Cartoon Crossroads not this past year, but the last year.
mhm.
Um, and Francois told the story of like the party they had to do this for the whole thing because there was an issue of that where they printed it in such a way that like the second page showed that it was something that was done on purpose,
Mhm.
but that they literally tore off the corner of the cover of every issue and then taped that piece inside.
Wait, like manually, like at the printer, they
Yes,
actually physically do
after they got
that?
it.
Wow. Oh, so that was the event. That was their
the,
their
the,
their recovering party.
right. It was they physically were tearing off the top right corner of
Nice.
every one of them and then taping it inside the books.
Wow, that's
And
dedication.
they're major collector items at this point. Though I did run into somebody that I knew that like got it in a dollar bin and no, it gets better. He found it in the dollar bin, and he didn't know exactly what it was. He just knew it was raw and knew enough about raw. But he got it up to the counter, and the guy noticed that the corner was torn off.
He gave a discount.
Gave it to him for 50 cents.
Oh my God.
this was like 20 years after it had happened. So like
Yeah,
if he'd known what he had, it was like a $400 book.
right. But does he still have it or did he sell it?
Oh no, he totally has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like if I never would have paid $400 for this, but getting it at 50
For
cents, I
50
am
cents?
never
Sure.
giving it up.
Yeah.
I would have paid $50 for it, and I'm never giving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might have even been at like a Goodwill. I don't even remember. It was like some crazy thing where like
Brown
he
elevators.
found it,
Yeah.
do it, the for those of you listening at home, I'm doing the comic flipping through long boxes motion.
Yeah. Used
Um,
to used to be record bins, but now,
yeah, yeah. I do that too.
yeah.
I do that too. So this is a good place to ask you. Tell me your comics biography, and I'm gonna make a big distinction. Biography, I mean, like take me from like the early comics that you remember reading or buying up until at least starting your own press and possibly the present day. How did you become the guy that makes these cool, very I mean, because we haven't mentioned it, like not only do you come up with cool stuff, most of it from overseas, though I'm right now looking at the Tezukomi, which I have
Yeah.
over on my shelf here, so
Yeah.
every once in a while I also have the is it Black Box anthology,
Um,
so you put together really cool anthologies sometimes too. um uh, but beyond that, I mean, the one thing that every magnetic book has in common is your production quality is second to none. These are good looking, sturdy, well made books.
the book you want to keep. It's not just supposed.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Um, it's well, but also easy to read. Sometimes the well made books, like,
You don't want to open them. They're almost too
well,
bad.
or they're not even really designed to be opened very well. They're not good at, they get worn out easily. I mean, there's a number of well-made books, they're well made everywhere except the spine isn't that,
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like too
Durable.
loose. Yeah.
Right.
No,
It's
I
too
don't agree.
loose or it's glued tight. So as soon as you actually open it, it breaks the.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, I think it was one of Legend Comics' first books was by Frank Miller. And I was so excited because it was new Frank Miller material and it
Yeah,
was
the
the
the the the
cheapest.
reason Legendary Comics got to print that is because it's the one where he'd fallen off the deep end,
Yeah.
and DC said no, 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 we don't want an Islamophobic Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, well, I won't call him Batman, but he'll still be beating up terrorists.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was just, I mean, I don't know what Legendary had promised him, but it was just, it was just the poorest quality, the thinnest
No,
paper.
I think more than anything, nobody else was willing to publish it, but it did well enough for them that they've become a slightly better comic publisher now. They still
Yeah.
have kind of a weird selection of books sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a while ago. They've had time to grow and,
Yes.
time to raise money. So,
Right. Aren't
but
they tied to the film company too?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's how they get like Pacific Rim and some of
Right.
those franchises.
Right. So, but back to your biography. Tell me about how you got into this, got to where you are.
How
And
far
again,
back do you go?
I like to start early. If you remember the first comic that you read and loved, we'll start there.
My first memory of getting into comics was I wasn't into them much at all. Maybe I read like you know, Richie Rich or something as a kid, but one of my dad's friends' sons was going to college. He's like, yeah. you want these comic books? And he brought out literally a black plastic bag stuffed with comics. And it
Okay.
was like the best Halloween ever. I spent so many hours just sorting through it. And, ooh, what is this? Sergeant Rock. Oh, what is this? And my whole world changed just because I was just like, wow, just this
How old were you?
cornucopia of I don't, I don't even remember what all was in there, but it was,
No, I said how old were you?
oh, I was 6, 7, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect age to be given a bag of comics.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at that point on, I just, I would read, well, mostly those comics. It took me like,
Oh yeah.
years to read all those. But then by the time I was actually like spending my own allowance, that was about the time of like, Atari Force and like, the original G.I. Joe by Larry Hama.
Right.
It's like those are the ones that I was pulling off a shelf and like buying
Okay.
myself.
Right.
But yeah, comics just always, as a medium, it just always interests me. In high school, I would draw pictures on my notebooks and stuff and make my own
Okay.
comics. They were terrible, but when I got a chance to write something, I knew the guys at Dark Horse fairly well. I started attending San Diego Comic-Con in like 1991. No,
Okay.
no, it was before that. It was 89. So
Okay.
it was still a tiny show where, I
Well,
get,
back when it was very much still a comic show.
yeah, and it was at the old convention center and like the attendance was maybe 13,000 and,
Right.
you know,
I mean, the only San Diego I've been to was 98, but
yeah,
Kevin Smith was the big name there in 98. It was like one of the last years where it was comics
right. Yeah, for the
rather than
Halloween
pop
invasion.
culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, back then, you know, you could just hang out with, Matt Groening and Chris Warner and all these, like Dark Horse had just, I think they had their fifth anniversary that first year. And I just found myself hanging out with them, during the show and after the show. And pretty soon Chris Warner asked if I wanted to write some Ghost with him. So that was my introduction to comics. And I wrote a bunch of stuff for Dark Horse, some Star Wars, Alien Predator, Aeon Flux,
Yeah. No,
little.
this is where I have to apologize for not having done proper homework.
No,
I am just realizing that now that you have a history in writing comics before
yeah,
publishing comics.
yeah. It was I was my full-time day job was in the video game industry. So I
Okay.
was writing comics on the side. So everybody I knew in comics were jealous of the video game work, and everybody I knew in the video game industry were jealous of the comic work. So it's like I had the best of both worlds for a while there.
Hey, you're my second video game comic guy recently because Laszlo was on with David Lapham and Shelley Bond to talk about American Caper recently. And
Yeah.
before getting into comics, he did like I don't know if you've heard about it, Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead
Yeah, it sounds
Redemption.
familiar. Yeah,
Yeah. Some people have played them. I had to be introduced. No.
I am still a shameless gamer. I still play way too many games.
I really only play baseball.
Yeah.
I have no Twitch capabilities.
Oh,
I'm just so bad at the and with baseball because there's a limited number of different motions you can do, and I
mhm.
know the game so backwards and forwards. I can generally relatively quickly get good at the limited number of specific motions that I need to make as long as I keep myself on the easy level.
So you're talking about video game baseball.
Right.
Yeah, not physical
Yeah.
running around a
Well,
field.
I like that too. I don't do it as much as I did when I was in my
Yeah,
teens and 20s.
I
I
haven't
have
done physical
grandkids
sports.
now,
Yeah.
but there is like one of the reasons that like I'm not nearly as good at like other sports video games is I don't know the games. I don't know what
Mhm.
I'm supposed to be trying to do. So
Yeah.
I have to learn all of it at once. Baseball, I know what I want the players to do. I
Right.
just have to learn how to make them do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I need that escape, after spending
Oh,
10
I
hours
know
a day
lots of
on,
huge gamers.
all the
I
business of the making sausage that is
you
comics.
you had Archie marry Betty.
Hmm?
I'm looking at Archie marries Betty 26.
No, that wasn't me. Maybe that
That
was
wasn't you?
nope.
Okay.
No.
Supposedly, League of Comic Geeks has something wrong because I had, and of course, it's not opening the actual page.
Yeah.
I have it just supposedly just showing me your work.
Hmm. Which site?
League of Comic Geeks, which means that it
Yeah.
is, yeah, it calls you the artist. Is there a Mike Kennedy that's an artist? Because you said that you don't draw very well. It does have your
Yeah.
picture there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mike
Maybe,
and Pat Kennedy with Paul Kupperberg.
no. Somebody must have
So,
updated.
so somebody must have, there must be a Mike Kennedy that
Huh.
isn't you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's me, but I'm not an artist.
Right.
So yeah, somebody got those.
No, I mean, I love League of Comic Geeks and
Yeah, these are all
is
right. Yeah.
it is right way more often than it's not,
Yeah.
but it's also kind of like Wikipedia where it's
Yeah, anybody can
a
update the database.
well, I mean, there like Wikipedia, there's also people that to approve your updates and whatnot, but initial data is user inputted and then goes through a process of so like if
Yeah.
nobody had said no and they couldn't find an actual issue, they would put it up.
Yeah. Most of them, well, except for that Betty.
Except for that bed. Well,
Except for
like I
that
said,
Betty. Everything else looks accurate. Well, I'll sometimes I'll check Amazon just to see what credits they have up
let's take
there.
you off, or actually let's just look at what it says you're the artist and penciler on,
Yeah.
just for just for giggles.
Yep, I didn't draw either of those.
It
Nope.
just says you're
Okay.
the artist on Betty or the penciler on
2002.
Betty. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nope. It's not me.
Artist. Yeah. So it's just so the two items here that you weren't involved in
Yeah.
are the Archie comics, and it caught my eye because
Interesting.
Archie just signed a deal with Oni where
Yeah.
they're going to be and that looks amazing.
It does.
Um,
Ollie's really well, I mean, I don't know
and
if I don't
and
I think
now
it's really
now I
bad.
have to do all sorts of more. I was already needing to catch up on my Archie knowledge. It's one of those big black holes in my comic knowledge,
Yeah.
and now I feel like I've got a clock on when I need to get caught up on my Archie knowledge.
Yeah. I know that they've got a lot of plans. So
Yeah.
Magnetic and Oni are both owned by the same parent company. So
Okay.
last year we started talking about how we can work closer together and share resources. So I'm sure there's probably going to be some kind of press release or announcement, but the 2026 Magnetic and Oni will really be a lot closer related, integrated. I mean, not like it's not like a merger or imprint thing, but um, yeah, we're working a lot closer with Oni these days.
Yeah. No, Oni was one of those companies that like almost died and seems to have very much risen from the ashes stronger and more interesting.
Yeah, in the last 2, 3 years, when they hired Hunter Goranson as the
Right.
publisher, he
Hmm.
turned that thing around. I mean, between
Yeah.
EC and Cult of the
Hmm.
Lamb, and I mean,
Sierra Hans doing the editing of
yeah,
both the EC line and was just announced for the Archie stuff. So yeah.
yeah,
No, that's
they've got a lot of stuff together.
it's been exciting. I like any time where where good comic stuff both continues and or gets better.
Yeah.
Um, Particularly when, like Magnetic Press, I remember to bring it back to the topic from time to time. Particularly when, like Magnetic, they're doing different things.
Yeah.
One of the things that when we started this podcast to begin with was one of our goals was we have too many friends that or because both Tyler and I are teachers, too many students, they find out we're into comics and they ask us about the most recent Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, two problems here. First, I said comics, not movies.
Yeah.
Second, yes, Spider-Man is a comic, but
Yeah.
comics are so much wider.
Yeah. It's like one in, 100,000. Yeah.
Right. Um, but then I also my wife's an art teacher and she'll do she does like various questions of the day. Oh, you did the Topi too?
Yeah.
You really have done all of the well, not all of the cool stuff. I've got Eric Reynolds coming on later in the month. If I say you do all of the cool stuff and then talk to the Fantagraphics guy and say he does all of the cool stuff,
Yeah.
people will know that I think everything is cool, which is true.
They
It's
do a lot
still
of good stuff with Fantagraphics. There were,
they do.
there are a couple titles that, we pursued that, we lost out to them, but that's cool. Anytime,
I
just getting the book out
out.
in English that's the goal. It's like,
That's
okay, you
huge.
can't win them all, but we're all in this together. So
Right. Um, but oh, I had a question and then I got distracted by Topi. Oh, I didn't have a question. I was finishing a story. My wife was telling me one day that she'd asked her students what their favorite comic was, and like 90% of the class said, "Oh, we don't read comics. That's kid stuff, blah blah blah." And then the next day, she asked them what their favorite book was, and more than half the class listed a Raina Telgemeier book as their favorite book.
well, that's
And
not a
she's,
that's a
yeah,
graphic novel.
no, they didn't even say that. She's like, you know that these are comics, right? And they're like, what? Yeah, words and pictures. We
Yeah,
just thought they were books.
sequential
They
art.
didn't even think of them as graphic novels. They just thought of them as books.
Yeah, I guess maybe to them, comic books means capes and tights.
Right.
Yeah,
That is how much capes and tights have become in the American psyche
yeah,
the meaning of comics. And that just drives me up the wall, particularly because almost everybody you talk to that doesn't think they like comics loves Charlie Brown
yeah.
or loves Calvin and Hobbes
Right.
or Far Side or Doonesbury or it's like those are comics too, right?
Yeah,
Well, I like comic strips. Well, I mean, they're all kind of strips,
right. There's just strips on top of each other on a single page.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
For that matter, as I learn about like as I get deeper into the history of comics, I laugh at how much things come around again because it's like some of the stuff that gets listed is or not listed, talked about as like innovative and boundary pushing as it pops up today and just in terms of like style and page layouts and whatever you go back and you look at like newspaper comics when they were all full page rather than two lines. It's
yeah,
like, dude, Winsor McKay and Roy Crane were doing that 75 years
yeah. Seriously.
ago. I mean, how much of Frank Miller was Will Eisner?
Yeah,
And I don't want to take much away from Miller.
and Jim Steranko, and yeah,
Right. But like how many of the things that got that people loved about Daredevil or about Miller when he got to Batman were things that Eisner had done with the spirit.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just it's weird to me how comics always in the United States is this second class art form. And it's one of the reasons I love that more like you, more European comics are making it here because in France it's the ninth art.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it in Italy, but they also clearly Italy, Belgium, Spain, pretty
Yeah.
much everywhere in the world except the United States. It's
Yeah. I mean,
movies,
it's
literature, comics, all mediums, all worthwhile.
and all ages and every genre
Right,
and topic that you can imagine. It's like
right.
I am very jealous of the European bande dessinée comic market just because
Yeah,
everybody buys them. Nobody judges them. Nobody, they're not just for kids. And it's, like if we sell 3 to 5,000 copies of a book, that's pretty good for us. Over there, they average 10 to 15, 30,
right,
60,000 copies of, hardcovers.
right. How about Japan, where everything comes out in digest form initially?
Yeah.
Where I was talking to Paul Pope because he did work with Kodansha
Mhm.
early in his career. He was part of a pilot program that they tried. And he was talking to me about how, because I'm like, how do they figure out what's popular? Given it's like, oh, they treat it the way we treat movies. They have focus groups, they have surveys, they have a whole team
Yeah.
that goes out to find out what people read. They'll give people $5 at the mall to come sit down and say,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, the Tezukomi anthology. I mean, that was actually
Right,
produced by Tezuka Productions in Japan. I mean,
right,
all of that material was originally published in Japanese, even though
okay.
it's French artists, but they
And
specifically,
American. Weren't there some American?
there's a
I
couple,
thought
yeah,
Oming did one in that.
no,
You've had Mike Ohm. I know you had
was
Oming in
Black Box.
Black Box, but I thought he did one in the
No, who is it? Ken Nishimura?
Ken Namura lives in
Nomura,
Japan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had him on a couple of times. He and Joe Casey do great work together.
Yeah, Joe Casey was, I guess he's probably the token American on that anthology, but everybody else is, Spain, Italy.
That might have been why I jumped on it was the Joe Casey and Ken. I mean,
Yeah,
Belen Ortega and Victor Santos. I
yeah,
have to go reread that now.
yeah. I mean, the
I
thing
didn't know Belen did writing. She's
I
one of my
mean,
favorite artists too.
yeah, actually, well, did she write that? Yeah, I guess she
Or
wrote it.
maybe Victor, or maybe I just, I always assume based on American style that the writer's coming first, but I know Victor does write. So maybe Bellin did the art and Victor wrote that story.
I don't remember specifically. I know
I'll be
that
picking
Victor
it up
did,
soon
I
and then
think
I'll
he
know.
did two other stories where he wrote and drew.
Yeah, he did at least one because I see the Eyes of Pandora.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Bellin might have
Juan
written.
Diaz Canales.
Yeah,
Oh, this is a who. And there, yeah, that's right. Because
yeah,
one of Joe Kelly's favorite books is Black Jack. So of course he and Ken would do
yep,
a Black Jack story.
yeah. Yeah,
They're
Tezuka
really
makes a bunch of
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
They're Joe and Ken are really cool.
Yeah, I've
Had
never
them on
met them.
together a couple of times. Well,
Just
because
traded some email, but that's it.
they did I Killed Giants and they did um oh, what was the new one called? I hate it. I have too many names in my head.
I know the feeling.
um Something Lieutenant or no, Joe Kelly can it was so good. Immortal Sergeant.
Yeah,
Immortal Sergeant was their more recent one. Yeah, no, they have a cool working Ken, Ken does more edits of himself than any comic creator I know. Apparently
I
he
mean,
does like,
yeah.
I mean, because most of them like they want to do once they get to full pages, they want that to be done. And he was showing us like, oh, it was this many pages. And then we went ahead and we decided that this needed to come out, but because this needed to come out, and Joe's like, when he says we decided, it was he decided. I wasn't making him
Yeah.
redraw stuff.
Well, he
And
treats
because
everything.
this came out, I had to draw this.
Yeah. I mean, everything. I mean, it all comes across like a storyboard, which is,
Yeah.
that's if you need to change an angle or something, that's, the best way to do it.
Yeah. No, they do great work together. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go reread that again. This is the other thing I love. I talk to people and I wind up having to reread everything, but I'm feeling like I'm getting into Chris Farley mode. Remember that book you did? That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was awesome.
There was that guy and that other guy.
Yeah,
It
that's
was awesome.
great. Yeah.
That was great. Um, so give us the spiel again for Freaks Squeele, and then I'm going to ask the closing question or
Sure.
closing questions. I have to keep reminding myself I have two now. Yeah.
Yeah, Freak Squeele is just, I mean, it's a fun, uh, it's a fun kind of heroic romp through university, but it's got a lot of depth. I mean, with 7 volumes, and there's been like, I want to say 4 spin-offs from that, and just like there is apparently a role-playing game in French, and I mean, it's a
I
full,
was I was about to say I feel like it's got a role playing
yeah, it's a full
feel
universe.
to it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
You,
and
you
later
can,
down here it does say that there are spin-offs of it even. So
yeah.
there's a whole world beyond this 7 volumes.
Well,
So
and we'll probably, I mean,
hopefully those are
chances
coming
are good.
soon
Well, yeah, chances
because
are
because
we'll
I mean
follow them.
102,325 on your $7,500 goal.
Yeah, with 2 weeks
Uh
left to go. So,
and that means that we're up, I think, like 100 something since we started. Um since we started recording. Uh so okay, I have two questions. One has always been a final question, but another one that's come to me as I have started my 5th year on this podcast, and I think of how much my life has changed because of it, just in terms of the conversations I get to have, the people I've gotten to know and or call my friends. Um, just like the experiences that if you told teenage me or even 30 something me, hey, this is going to be a part of your life someday, I would have gone, yeah, fuck,
yeah.
pigs will fly,
Who are
right?
you again? Yeah.
Right, right. Um, are you certain you're talking about me when you say that's going to be part of life? But as I talk to creators, I realize that no matter how famous they are, they all have stories that fit into that. Oh my God, what happened to my life that I get to do this amazing thing or meet
Yeah.
this amazing person or hang out with this person or in this place or whatever. Or even sometimes it's just like the story that some random person tells them about their book at a signing table. Um, Give me one of those surreal moments. Something that if you hadn't fallen into this career, if you hadn't chosen this career, you can't imagine would have happened in your life. But it did, and you still sometimes pinch yourself because it's
Yeah,
like,
I think, I mean, being a comic fan growing up, and, reading things up. I worked in a comic shop in high school, and, you know, big fan of like the Badger and American flag and all
right?
that stuff. One of the
I've had
last,
Howard on a couple of times. I love Howard.
So this relates to him. So he was, I mean, he was just my favorite writer. And
He's
even
great.
as I started, writing professionally with some of the stuff for Dark Horse, it's like, I just, if anybody asks, it's like, well, he's probably my first inspiration. Um, so one of the last video games that I worked on, we were creating the mission structure in like 12 chapters. And so each chapter I propose that let's just bookend them with like comic book pages, kind of motion comic kind of stuff. And each chapter, it's like, let's get a different artist. So one of the chapters, I reached out to Howard Chaykin, thinking, oh, no chance in hell, but I have to at least ask. My wife and I were at dinner and my cell phone rings and it's Howard Chaykin calling me saying that he'll do it. So he actually drew like a 10-page chapter in Bleed Out. And I was just, that to me is still kind of the over the moon, starstruck moment.
I'm not a video game guy, but now I want this video game just for
Yeah,
that
Bleed
10-page
Out, I
chapter.
think Bleed Out should still be available on Amazon. It was before Magnetic Press, so it wasn't a
Okay.
Magnetic Press book, but I think Bleed Out should still be, we had like a chapter illustrated by Glenn Fabry. We had like Trevor Hairsine, Ben Templesmith, Nathan Fox.
Oh,
Um,
it's on Steam.
is it? Oh,
It
the game
says it
is.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might still be running. I mean, it's
Minimalist roguelike idol from Blackline Development. No, that one
Well,
was later.
it was developed by Vogster, but Vogster's not around, so somebody else might have picked it up and they're still running it on servers. But it was an
Foods keep you
MMO.
alive, materials fuel your research. Does that sound right?
Yeah, but it was a first person shooter kind of.
Oh, wait, no, probably this one. That was one word bleed out.
Oh, the game itself was called Crimecraft.
Oh,
And then
Crimecraft.
and then the mission structure was a an update that we called Bleed Out. But yeah,
Crime.
so I wrote that story and we got all these artists to draw them. So that was actually how I got into publishing was Archaea Entertainment uh, chose to publish that as a book. And so
Oh,
even though we commissioned all this artwork from Fabry and Chaykin, it was to make motion comics, but they were all drawn in traditional comic book format. So we just published it as a graphic novel.
oh,
And
I'm gonna
it
have
was
to.
pretty
Is
cool.
that also called Crimecraft or is that
No,
called
the graphic novel is Bleed Out.
Bleed Out? Gotcha.
And it might, I don't, I mean, it was published by Archaea in, I don't know, 2010. And then Archaea got bought by Boom Studios.
Boom. Right.
So Boom might have reprinted it. I don't think that they still have the license, but it might
The
still be
the
available.
hardcover is available on Amazon at a
Yeah.
reasonable price.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun book. And the Tim Bradstreet cover,
Yeah, no, I'm
I
looking at
mean,
the
we got
cover
a
right
real,
now.
yeah, we got a
Oh,
real,
Sanford Green too.
yeah, Samber Green. I'm trying to think, who else did we get?
Nathan Fox, Zach Howard, Sanford Green,
Zach
David
Howard.
Williams, Ben Temple Smith, Gary Erskine,
Yep.
Howard Chaykin, Glenn Fabry, Vince Proce, and
Yep.
Trevor Hairsine,
Yeah.
with a
Yeah,
cover
that was a
by
fun
Tim
project.
Bradstreet and written by you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just went on my list.
Yeah, that was probably that's my starstruck moment. That's
I
my
I get that. I'll have to share a Chaykin story off air.
yeah.
Because he's great. Um, but okay, so the mandatory final question is tell me something you love, preferably a comic, but we don't really have rules.
Mhm.
Preferably storytelling, but again with the rules. But something that you love that not enough people around you have experienced, and you really want them to, so that you have more people to talk about it with.
Can it be a plug also?
Oh yeah, I
You
don't
know,
care.
Magnetic has published this series called The Ogre Gods, and there are four books in the series. Each one is actually pretty self-contained, but they do kind of they feed into and reference each other. But it's such a cool universe. It's very kind of dark
Petite,
fairy tale, and
petite firstborn,
yep,
half blood, and the great man.
yeah, and they're just really. I mean, besides the fact that they're really well written, they're
Bert,
beautifully illustrated and kind of this.
Bertrand Gatineau
Yep,
and Hubert.
yep,
These
yeah,
do look really cool.
yeah, and it's like honestly, that would make such a fantastic RPG. It's another one of those just complete universes. And
Well, I mean, uh, are you an RPG guy? I mean, do you do
yeah,
tabletop gaming too?
yep,
So, I don't know if you've read Kieran Gillen and
die.
Stephanie yeah, Die.
Yeah.
Um, so we do an actual play Die podcast once a month.
Oh, really?
So,
They did release a die RPG, didn't they?
yes, we use it.
Yeah.
But part of that is like the game master gets to create all sorts of stuff because there are 20
Yeah.
sides to the die, whatnot. So like I'll have to read this and pitch it to Phil to be a side of our die. And
Yeah.
then we'll invite you to come play with us.
Yeah. I mean, as a series, it's just, I
I
mean,
mean, frankly, you're invited to come play with us anyway. Anybody's invited to come play with us.
sure. Yes, you check out the Planet of the Apes RPG that we just released.
Oh, wow. Did you do that through Magnetic?
Yep. Yeah. Magnetic Press Play is kind of our gaming imprint.
I didn't know you had a gaming
Yeah. And
imprint.
we just really, it was fulfilled. It was a Kickstarter that we fulfilled
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple months ago.
Planet
Uh,
of the
but
Apes,
yeah, it'll be hitting stores in February, I think.
Carbon Gray, Hugo Broiler. That's a cool cover. Oh, I could fall down so many rabbit holes.
Yeah.
So many rabbit holes. I
That's
like
okay.
rabbit holes.
Yeah, we like to
But what?
dig as many rabbit holes as we can for everyone.
Exactly. But we're gonna do any more rabbit holes for the moment off air. So for Mike Kennedy, this has been 22 panels. Freaks Squeele is on Kickstarter for another 2 weeks. Um, I think I'm actually going to get this up tonight, tomorrow at the latest. So maybe only 13 days. Friday, January 2nd at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Um, it's already completely backed, so you're going to buy your stuff. And
Yeah.
I discovered, uh, because one of the options is you can you and yours is only the second Kickstarter I've seen to do this. Um, and I think the other one might have been one of your books too.
Mm.
Where you have an available reward tier to just buy access to the pledge manager.
Yeah, if you're not sure and you just want to pre-order it later, just back it there. And then you'll get your survey and you can always adjust your
You
pledge.
can decide what you're going to do at that point.
Yeah.
But that also, because none of the and I'm just going to tell this to people listening. One of the reasons it took me so long to back was that before I'd done that, I didn't see anything that because it does go from the the $2 to like, I mean, I guess you can get a digital copy of one volume of choice, which
Yeah.
I suppose you could
Probably one.
choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could choose
Start at
one.
the
So
beginning. Yeah.
so I guess that was kind of in my head. Um, but it felt like you jumped way up. But as soon as I clicked on the Open Pledge Manager, it offered add-ons. It's like add on the copy of it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
duh, here I can get one. One
Yeah.
volume
Yeah.
of choice is actually, if I thought about it, I would have gone, oh yeah, just request one. but that didn't actually pop into my head until I got to the add-ons. So if you have a weird head like mine, it's all in the add-ons too, and you can buy into the rewards. $67 for all 7 volumes in the in a
It's like
digital version is, I
that's
mean, that's
1,000 pages of
right.
material.
Over
Yeah.
1,000 pages. And for that matter, the 175 for all 7 hardcovers is a legit good deal if you want to like jump on full in.
Yeah. I mean, the hardcovers
So
will be, 25 bucks each at retail. So
right, exactly. So everybody should go look at that. Like I said, Freak Squeele on Kickstarter. This has been 22 panels, and we will see you after the next page.